Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. No parts today. A bit frustrating. I'm pretty sure the new carbs are going to turn up for that today. I got a message that said something's coming from China parts, so I'm pretty sure the new carbs will come for that. Problem is the weather is telling me I've got 2 hours of this before it rains for the rest of the day, and then parts are due around that time, so that's a bit frustrating. Right, batteries are charged. One battery for that, one battery for this, both charged, ready to go. This bike, I want to see if it starts. Of course I want to see if it starts. I want to see if the point stuff we did has made a difference. I'm wondering if when before the points were cleaned, was there any of the oxidation, was it creating some sort of intermittent spark? You know, basically, was it touching with such a small gap? So that is a possibility. So it could actually be good. And then the condenser, I wonder if the condenser not being right. Apologies, I broke that last video. My dad was calling. Where was we? I want to fire this up, see if we can get it running, see if it's fixed. Lexmoto, I'm waiting on parts. I think technically the parts would have only been sent out yesterday because they were ordered on the day on bank holiday. So they would have been sent yesterday. So unless it's a specialist company like a DPD or someone, they're not due today. My hope is that the front panel and the ignition, the parts just come in one, but we don't know. There's no point in the front coming if the ignition doesn't come, you see. From there, so carbs due, I need to put the second exhaust on, front panel ignition, battery tray, need to get that done. I've got a spare, I think I've got a spare alarm. I'm contemplating putting it on because it's spare anyway. Where is it? I say I think. Let's have a look. There you go. Although, is the key there? Yeah, it is. I might throw it on. It'll just do what it's meant to do. It'll just be a loud noise. It's got two keys there. Yeah, I think I'll chuck down. If I can get it, I'll probably put it under here, so it's loud, fairly hard to get to. The only thing is, people know these alarms. Once they're in there, and that's why they rip out the batteries actually, to stop any alarm going off. What these alarms need, and I was thinking about it the other day, right, is they need a you need to be able to put a secondary square battery on it. You know, what are they, 8 volts, 10 volts, them little square ones. You need a second power source, little square battery that will recharge off the main battery, so you'll always have a backup. There's a company there, and I know you can buy 300 and 400 pound alarms that do that, but actually there's a space there for a cheaper company to put that in. Right, let me get the battery in this. Let me fire it up. I say fire up, let me attempt to fire it up. Okay, battery's in. We should have some power there now. Fuel is on. Fuel is on. Choke. I've never known this bike not to start, even when it's a bit fragile, so it's always started. I better check for spark. Definitely has spark there. I'm not sure I'd say it was the best spark. I wonder if the condenser should be earthed. So look, we've got the condenser, it's plugged in. I wonder if it needs to be bolted down. It didn't fit on that bolt, so it didn't fit on that bolt. Let me check if there's fuel in. See if there's fuel in here. There's no fuel in that side. This will be interesting. Is there fuel in the other side? What is going on? This bike drives me nuts. Right, I've got overflow tap here. Oh, it's on the other side. That's weird. There is tiny bits. Nah, there's no fuel. Could this fuel tap be playing up again? Right, where's off? Let me get this, I'm gonna get this tank off. I'm gonna see if we've got fuel flow. Right, this is gonna be scientific. Oh, come on. No wonder I'm ruining the paintwork on the tank. I'm so sick of messing with fuel taps on this bike. That's the second one. They're not cheap. They just break, so I guess I'm gonna have to pull that one off, see if it needs a clean out, and go from there really. So I've pulled the filter system out. Let's see if the actual what do you call it, the let's see if it's actually spilling from the inside. Oh, it is. Okay. It looks like the spouts might be blocked then. Let me see if I can clean them out with a quick spray through. Let's see if our problem is solved. It might not be, we might be back to where we were. I might take the filter out. Let me see if the flow is better with the filter out. I did clean both sides. Let me try again. What's interesting there is it's clean through. It is actually clean through. When I spray the carb cleaner through it, brake cleaner through it, it's clean through that pipe. So what's slowing it down, I have no idea. I tried to do a system before, didn't I, which was two pipes into one, or two pipes into two even. So you'd have a piece here that goes up to the good spill, or even two coming out to two going into two. You'll even out the pressure. Problem is the distance between here and here. I don't know if it's true that as long as the tank is higher than where it's going, that the flow will get to where it's going. I'm not sure if that's true, but I do feel like it's something I need to try now. So I would basically have these kind of down here, and this one out here. But I'm sure the rule is if the tank's higher, the pressure will be enough to get it to where it's going. Let me see if I've got a fuel piece that will do that anyway. So look at this, 2 into 1, but I then need to do a 1 into 2 going down into each carb. So it's long-winded, but let's test at this stage if that's flowing an even amount of fuel. So exactly the same system. Oh, wrong way. Let's see if we're flowing. We should just be flowing an even amount of fuel. Oh, we're going to need some fuel on that side. There you go. Okay, so yes, you saw that, an even amount of fuel coming out of that one pipe. We now need to split that one pipe into the two, and then I believe as as one fills up, the other will follow. It is a system that should work. It is a system that's been used. They used it on the Bonnie fields years back, so it should work. My biggest issue is the fact that there's no direct route down into the carbs from the fuel, but I do think I'm right. The fuel tank being higher should flow down. I'm going to go and get some good fuel and top up that tank. That will make life a bit easier. In fact, I'm going to go down and do that now. I'm going to go and get a tank full of fuel, fill that thing right up once this is all set up, and then we can actually idle it for a few minutes without worrying about fuel disappearing, because actually it's got spark, it's got everything else now, so there's no reason why there should be any more issues. Let me see, I might need to throw the tank on and see how I get to the next part, or should I put the next piece in first? Yeah, put the next piece in. So I can assure you this is temporary, but this is what I don't like. I mean, they're not secure, they're not, as in they're not tight. I haven't secured them. I think I need a 4-piece here. See, I've got this box here, and none of them are 4, but you can get 4 pieces. I might have to do a Halfords run after, because I need some more fuel line, and I need a 4 splitter. I'm sure I've got one in there somewhere. I'll have another look. Look at this loop here. So even though the tank's higher, I still feel like the fuel has to do a lot of work. Now I think the rule is it does, because the tank's higher. I think the rule is no matter what, the fuel gets to where it's going. But I don't like it. What I'd want to do with the 4-piece is bring it here into the middle first, and then out with smaller pieces, if that's possible. So this would go out into there, and then the 2 would be a more direct route, wouldn't it, to there and there. That's what I'd want to do. So yeah, I'm going to go and get some. Well, actually, let me check. Let me put it on reserve. I don't know if there was enough fuel in there. Oh, look. Fuel's flowing. Let me switch that off, because we're leaking everywhere. But fuel was flowing there. I think this is a lost cause today. I think I might do a Halfords run. I need some fuel line and a 4 splitter. I believe the front panel has just come for this bike. Front panel's no good without the ignition yet though, so I'm going to wait. Yeah, alright. At least we know where we're going with this. 20 to 12, look, and it's done exactly what it said. You can see it switched. It's such a shame. Just can't get anything done nowadays. I'm going to squeeze that run in though to Halfords, I think. So a 4 splitter and some new fuel line. Problem with this fuel line, right, is it's too solid. Now this was fuel line some years back, E5 proof fuel line, and it worked really well because it's so flexible, but it just isn't that happy with E10. It gets a bit stiff. To be fair, right, I've never had it break. It just gets a bit stiff. So actually, if you got it into position, it would be okay. This one's a bit thin for this bike, but I want a flexible fuel line for here, but that's also E10 proof. Not that I'm going to be using E10 in here, but you know what I mean, just in case. Okay. And there it is. Not 2 minutes after, and 20 minutes earlier than it was meant to. It's bloody raining. Let me get all this put away. I'm going to jump in the car and go to Halfords.